She has a hold all packed. She has a flight booked. And she is absolutely terrified that if she does not get out of Weatherfield today, she will not be getting out at all. Summer Spellman, one of Coronation Street's most beloved young characters, is making a run for it, and the circumstances that have driven her to that decision are as heartbreaking as they are dramatic. A diary full of dark thoughts, a photograph that puts her at the wrong place at the wrong time, a witness who saw something he was never supposed to see, and a conversation overheard that confirmed her worst fears. The walls are closing in. The question is whether Summer makes it to the airport before the police make it to her door. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering what is shaping up to be one of the most emotionally charged exits Coronation Street has attempted this year. Summer Spellman's potential departure from the cobbles amid the ongoing investigation into Theo Silverton's murder. This storyline has been building layer by layer for months, and now it is reaching a crescendo that will test Summer, the people who love her, and the audience's patience for ambiguity in equal measure. There is a great deal to cover, so let's go back to where this all began. Summer Spellman's 2026 started with a loss so devastating it cast a shadow over everything that followed. Billy Mayhew, the gentle, deeply good vicar who adopted Summer and gave her the stable, loving home she had always needed, died in January. The circumstances of his death were horrifying. During the Corriedale crossover pileup, Theo Silverton trapped Billy in a burning minibus and left him there. Billy could not escape before the vehicle exploded. He was gone. And Summer was left to carry that grief while the man responsible for it continued to walk the street, seemingly untouchable. That grief sat alongside something else, a growing awareness of what Theo had been doing to Todd Grimshaw, played by Gareth Pierce, in the months that followed. Todd had been trapped in an abusive relationship with Theo for just over a year, and nobody around him had seen it clearly. What began as subtle gaslighting and cruel comments about Todd's appearance escalated into financial control, physical violence, and sexual abuse. It was George Shuttleworth, played by Tony Maudsley, who first overheard the reality of how Theo spoke to Todd, and it was that moment that opened the floodgates. Todd's friends and family came together to support him. Summer was among them, fiercely, protectively present, as she always is for the people she loves. But she was also carrying her own fury about Billy. About what Theo had stolen from her. About the fact that a man capable of leaving someone to burn in a vehicle was living his life freely while she grieved. That combination of grief and rage found its way into Summer's journal. Pages of it. Raw, furious, honest in the way that private writing is always honest. The kind of words a person writes when they need somewhere to put feelings too large to carry alone. Including, in one particularly alarming entry, a description of holding a gun to Theo's head. It was a thought, not an action. A fantasy of power in a situation where she had none. But those words on a page, read by the wrong eyes at the wrong moment, look like something entirely different. Before all of that comes to a head, the episode that aired tonight gave us something genuinely moving. Summer told Todd she had been offered a place at a university in America. A real opportunity. A chance to build something new somewhere far from the cobbles and everything they represent right now. And she was going to turn it down, she said, because leaving Todd while he was still recovering from everything Theo put him through felt wrong. It felt like abandonment. Todd's response was everything you would expect from a man who has been through what he has been through and still manages to put the people he loves first. He told her not to waste it. He told her to go. To get as far away from Coronation Street as she could, forget everything that happened, and never look back. He told her he was excited for her. And it worked. Summer allowed herself to believe, for a moment, that this was possible. That she could just go. But Coronation Street does not do clean exits. Not like this. Not in the middle of a murder investigation. Because next week, everything accelerates. George and Christina Boyd, played by Amy Robbins, find Summer's diary. The entries they read paint a picture that, stripped of context, looks deeply incriminating. A young woman who lost her father to this man, who documented her hatred of him in vivid detail, who wrote about fantasies of having a weapon pointed at his head. For George, who loves Todd and is navigating his own position as a suspect, the discovery is genuinely alarming. For Christina, who has been quietly worried about what George might be hiding and what other truths might be lurking, it opens a new and frightening possibility. At the same time, Kit Green has been doing what Kit Green does, looking closely at things other people have moved past. He spots something in the background of Lisa Connerswain's wedding photographs. A detail, small but significant, that places Summer in a position that needs explaining. That detail, combined with everything else now stacking up against her, is enough to bring her in for formal questioning. Summer sits across from the police in that interview room that Harriet Bibby described as horrifying regardless of guilt or innocence, and tries to hold herself together while the evidence is laid out in front of her. Then George reveals what he saw on the night of Theo's murder. Whatever that information is, it lands badly for Summer. And the final push comes when Summer overhears Christina making a prediction that the police are going to come for Summer, and soon. That overheard conversation is the match that lights the fuse. Summer has been trying to hold her ground, trying to trust that the truth will protect her. But hearing someone else say plainly that the arrest is coming breaks something. She starts packing. Todd is the one who finds her, hold all in hand, already moving, already mentally on a plane to America. And Summer tells him the truth. She is frightened. She genuinely believes that if she stays, she will be arrested for Theo's murder. She has a flight booked for that afternoon. She is going. Todd, who told her just days ago to take the opportunity and run, is now standing in front of her watching her run for an entirely different reason, and the weight of that irony is not lost on anyone watching. The fan reaction to these developments has been intense and emotionally split in the most interesting way. A significant portion of viewers are convinced that Summer is innocent and that the show is building an elaborate false jeopardy around her, that her apparent flight is either the act of a frightened innocent person or a narrative device to create suspense before the real killer is revealed. Others, influenced by James Cartwright's BAFTA teasing that the culprit is not who viewers expect, are sitting with the uncomfortable possibility that Summer actually did it, that the journal entries, the motive, and the timeline add up to something real. Harriet Bibby's performance throughout has been cited repeatedly as one of the finest on the show right now, with viewers expressing genuine sadness at the prospect of losing her from the cast. Looking further ahead, the question of whether Summer makes her flight or is stopped before she reaches the airport is the most immediate dramatic tension. But beyond that single moment lies a bigger question about what her departure, if it happens, means for the show and for the people who love her on it. Todd has already lost Billy. Losing Summer, whether to an American university or a police cell, represents another profound absence from a life that has been defined by loss this year. George and Christina, in finding that diary, may have accidentally pushed someone they care about into the most dangerous situation of her life. And the investigation, wherever it leads next, continues to generate exactly the kind of morally complex, emotionally grounded storytelling that makes Coronation Street worth watching. So there you have it, everything you need to know about Summer Spellman's desperate bid to leave the cobbles, the evidence mounting against her, and the heartbreaking circumstances that brought her to a packed hold-all and a one-way flight. This is unmissable television, and we will be here covering every development as it happens. We want to hear from you. Do you think Summer killed Theo? And do you think she makes it out before the police catch up? Tell us everything in the comments. The debate around this storyline has been some of the best we have seen in this community in a long time. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, share it with a fellow Corey fan, and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss an update from the cobbles. We will see you in the next one.